Hey, welcome to Real People. This is Stephanie Allensworth. Today I am here with a metaphysical and spiritual coach and a light worker, and I am so blessed to have David Behr in my presence today. Welcome, David.
Thank you. What an honor to be here, and thank you, audience, for being here and tuning into this very unique and wonderful woman. And I want to take a moment to thank God, thank you, universe, for the spirit that exists in Stephanie, for all of the good that you're doing now and that you will continue to do, because you have acknowledged a calling within you. And this isn't something new to you. This has been with you in terms of nurturing it and cultivating it and bringing it to fruition over a long period of time, probably many lifetimes. You couldn't be more perfectly situated in this time and space to bring your ability to connect with people through your sense of gentleness and the loving kindness that you exude, exemplary, from your being. And that's why people tune in, one of the reasons, because they hear you and they feel you and they sense you, that you're about real and you're about making a quantifiable difference. So for everybody and all the good that will continue to come, thank you. Thank you for choosing this path to make this your light and bringing other people together to share their light and their wisdom and their hopes and their dreams, so that other people may savor and come to the point of recognizing that they're being invited to discover the bigger, better, broader, more compelling part of their love space, which is raising the energy. And why are we here in the first place, right? Why are we here? What is our purpose? Most people are drawn to find their place in this life and purpose. It's a big calling, but most people go through their entire life, adult lives, and not know why they're here or not know what their real purpose is, but they try a lot of things to get there. And why is that? Because life is a series of experiential lessons, and the lessons that come sometimes for all of us painfully, challenging, difficult in every capacity, and it can come through the order of pain. Pain can be happening at a mental level, an emotional level, a physical level, a spiritual level, because we forget who we are. We forget that we are divine energy beings because we are from the breath of life. We are from the divine Father, Mother, God, prime creator that gave us breath. So that echo of that beauty, that resonance, that perfection exists within us, and it exists in the holy and the sacred now of this moment. And when we become more aware of how we can stretch our own inner technology, be it intuitive technology or energy technology or external technology, to navigate more towards how to see problems as not limitations and not fearful experiences that cause us stress and pain and anxiety and suffering and bad relationships and self-doubt and self-abuse and self-debilitation and body dysmorphia, all the things that we do as humans to create aggregates of challenges that keep us from the very thing that we came here to do, which is to love. Yeah. It's all of our purposes. It's the most important purpose to have. And when we can stop languishing and begin to immerse ourselves, like putting our feet into that quiet, gentle, golden river that invites us to take the ride, a gentle ride. It doesn't have to be an abusive and challenging ride, though it has those moments. And that's how we learn and how we grow, but we don't need to become stuck in those moments. We become stuck when we begin to believe our own fears and our inadequacies. And what is the antithesis of fear?
Love.
Yes, it is. I see it additionally as faith. Oh. It's the teeter and the totter. It's the alpha, the omega, the continuum, the continuum, the you and the me and the up and the down and the in and the out and the hot and the cold. I have to share this because I think it's an interesting observation. It came to me in a meditation years ago, and this is what I do. What I do is find where those resistances and blocks and phobias and fears and limitations have come to rest that keep us confined in the prison of our own inability to see beyond that. Sometimes it takes another lens or another look or another human being to be able to see beyond the shadows and the clouds and see the beauty and the perfection and the opportunities and the talents and all of that. And that's what I suss out. Find what those resonant, wondrous gifts are that you have so that they become your tools to be able to combat all of the things that we create to keep us stuck. All the fears and the phobias and the doubts and the self-deprivation and the abuse. And becoming in relationships that don't work or jobs that aren't fulfilling or whatever it is, or not feeling that ability for us to finally feel the joy of being so fully alive. When we wake up in the morning, we're doing what we love to do. And I say in the collective voice, the commonology of all is if we have a purpose of knowing we can bring just a little bit of a providence of echo of love to another human being in this day, in this now, and we make it the gravity and the potentiality and the fire and the ambition of our experience to make a difference in everybody we meet, in everyone we touch, because we have an opportunity in every moment. We were talking about it earlier in terms of the way we see things, like an interruption might be in getting this prepared to be under film, but there's technology things, and it's like one could be excited and worried about that or have a grievance about that. And I go, what? It doesn't matter. It's an opportunity. It's a blessing in disguise. Universe is shuffling its deck and creating the perfect time. We're always in the perfect time. And the perfect time to love yourself, and this is what I'm all about too, is helping you begin to find how you can come out of any problem, any challenge, any difficult, any disease, anything, with the right perspective and the right lean to love yourself. And to begin to see that whole unfolding process that we are doing in order to gain access to our higher self. And our higher self is constantly reflecting back at us and saying, just love. Be in a love quotient every day. Everyone you meet, make it a point to find a way to touch, to inspire, to influence, to leave something sweet, a hand against the cheek and say, oh, thank you for being here. Look at how beautiful you are. To a child or an old person that you see dense in their confusion, their loss, because they feel alone in the world.
Oh, that's sad.
Make a difference. You can. A smile, a look, a gesture. An honest, I see you. And because I see you and I want you to see yourself how I see you as a luminous being. You may have forgotten that you are, but I can see you. I can see your light. And that is our destiny, to become, frankly, aware of how we can negotiate all the little divots along the way, all the little prisons we put ourselves in, and then come to understand that when we are in our prison, the way we get out is we make it a prism. We change the perspective.
Wow, okay.
And the perspective is to see it as a multifaceted opportunity to perceive any experience in a different way, because we can, and we can.
Just want to make sure you don't roll off.
And we do it because we find that ambition to bring love to another person. And now let's talk about how. You say, I hear that. So what's an example of how we can do that? By number one, loving yourself. And every day when you wake up, you have such a gratitude. And you begin to thank your world personally. Thank you, I can see. I can see you. And what a beautiful thing to be able to see you. I can hear you. I can experience you. I can feel. I can breathe. I'm breathing and my heart is pumping. And wow, I don't thank my heart enough. Thank you, heart, for all of what you do, all the beats you make. You keep the blood coursing and pumping through my body. I'm sorry I haven't recognized you sooner. You see how love is embraced when we begin to have gratitude. What's gratitude? It's a great attitude. In fact, there's a deeper meaning in gratitude. It's how we come at it tuned. It's the frequency of our perception that gives us access to get out of prisons in any aspect of our life. No matter what we've done to get ourselves stuck, all of it can be unstuck, and it can happen in a very short period of time once you understand the tools, and they're energetic, and love is one of them. And so if we're walking down the street, I don't care if you don't even talk to the people, you can see other people's energy. You begin to read it, because some people will be obviously very depressed. Their energy is dense and you can feel it. Those are hurting souls that need comfort. They need love. And you are an ambassador of love today, because you just recognized your gratitude for being so excited just to be able to be alive. Thank you, hands. Thank you, feet, for taking me all the places you've taken me. You hear what I'm doing here? We're beginning to appreciate everything in a magnitude of perspective that gives it the honoring that it deserves. And the more we do that, the more we enhance the echo of love within ourselves, because life loves gratitude and appreciation. In fact, the more we have it, the more it's amplified. The more of the goodness comes back to us. It's the way it works.
Wow, that is just so beautiful. I mean, I don't even want to stop you. You overwhelm me with such beauty and kindness and love. You just exude it. And I thank you for being who you are, and I see you as well.
Thank you. Thank you. So in finishing that thought, I kind of drifted away from it. So we're walking down the street, and we see this person. And obviously, we can feel. And by the way, we're all intuitive. Everybody has that gift of spirit, but the intellect for so many gets in the way. So the way you learn to have more access to it is by trusting it. You give yourself permission to trust it. And you can check it out. How does that person feel? I feel sadness in that person today. Great. What a wonderful opportunity to bring your light up. Thank you, breath. Magnify this light 100-fold within me as I connect to angels and archangels and saints and wonderful, loving people that have dedicated their light souls, light workers, who have all dedicated their life to raising consciousness and to amplify the goodness on the planet for the common good of all concerned. They're all with us right now. So pick that person and focus on them, and let your heart light resonate. Begin to see it expand like a wave, like a concentric, golden, powerful tsunami wave of soft love emanating in their direction. And you see them being receptive and vulnerable and open to that loving condition that you just sent. And you say, thank you, God, for allowing me to serve another human being in a glorious way, in a way that can make a difference, because it doesn't matter. We're not going to sit around and watch a difference. I can promise you this. You cannot give without affecting. If they don't get it because they're so shut down, they're going to feel the vibe, but somebody else will get it. Love broadcasts itself eternally. It's an ever ongoing wave. It doesn't stop. So I'm inviting all of you to know that you can make a difference, not only in your life. You can start with your children, your mate, your lover, your friend, your friends. Yeah, family is easy because we're drawn to that. But now we're also being invited to think beyond what is familiar, right? Family. But the bigger family is the family of humanity, and I hear the cry. I hear the pain. We all do. We all do. And the sadness is when other people are in pain and suffering and grief and losing lives and debilitation of fear. It's incumbent upon us all at this very, very critical juncture in humanity. without naming anything in particular. We all know where and what's going on, and they all need attention. It's like God says, let me open the cupboard here, folks. Pick something. Pick a path. Get a passion. Find something to contribute beyond what you're doing. Pick a path that can serve humanity in a way that not only can make a difference for you, because when you give good mojo and juice to another human being, you've imminently and inextricably have blessed yourself. And what have you blessed yourself with? A commonality. And love is the invitation for joy to not only monitor, but to become the ever-present echo of our life. And when we give ourselves permission to be in this now, in this moment, sacred moment, and nothing else matters because this is where we're at. We're not in California on the beach. We're not in Cancun drinking, whatever we are on the beach. It's very easy to be seduced into distraction that pulls us away from the sacredness of the holy now and be in other places, whether it's history or her story, whatever story you want to tell, or something that's in the future confabulated. That one, I wanted to take you back to the continuum. So you have the alpha, you have the omega, you have all these things. That duality was created out of the wholeness, right? So divinity said, look, I want to see what I look like in the expression of human beings, and create a duality, night and day and dark and light and shadow and beauty and all of that. So this teeter-totter, interestingly enough, brings us back to what? The center, from which we've came, back from the once, the origination, the holy name, the I amness. And interestingly enough, if you take that continue at where? I am. Continuum is continue at the I am. And you take the weight of that continuum under the weight of its own evolution, and it becomes what? It becomes a circle, or what? A ball. Look at the word balance, teeter-totter. Yeah. Ball once was a ball, separated in duality to show the difference, to show that the shadow is not something we need to fear, like a cloud. It's all transient. It's temporal. But the shadows are there to help us, assist us, to understand the direction of the light. Wow, now that's a new perspective, but it's not. It's ancient. All of us create and we carry a lineage of our own peeps, our own families, ancestry for millennium. We carry the signature echo of all those people that came to give you this opportunity to be in your life, in the life that you are now in, which is an opportunity for you to create a mastery of it. And I'm telling you, with a little guidance, a little help, you can master anything. There isn't a problem, there isn't a challenge that can't be overcome with new tools and new lenses of opportunities to be able to really see it at a different frequency. Years ago when I used to do classes, I'd stand in front of a blackboard and I'd write IMPOSSIBLE across the blackboard, 60, 70, 80, 100, whatever was there. And I'd have them look at the board and I'd say, what do you see? Of course, everybody sees impossible. And then it came to me in a creative, and I love the way the music gives us creativity to expand. I call them intuitive technologies, that we can make things easier by having a different lens. And so it came to me instantly that why don't you have a balloon that's shaped in the letters of impossible? Now blow it up. This big, long, 10-foot balloon of impossible. It gets to be expanded to it's like 3 feet in diameter, and it's clear and see-through, and you have portholes on it. And you can go up and look inside of impossible. What do you see? And then I ask people, what do they see? Well, I see this. I see blocks and barriers and pain and suffering. And what texture does impossible feel like? Oh, it's sharp, it's cutting, it's their aggregates of pain, swords, thistles, whatever. What color is it? black and icky and murky and blah, blah, blah. So all different lenses, right? Perspectives. So I say, okay, let's change and put one of those little things like that behind the M. Now it's I am possible. All those years that kept you back and imprisoned when you had a prism of opportunity to change the lens, to see it just a bit differently. Now that reframes everything in a much more dynamic aggregate that gives you permission to see beyond. So now what color is I am possible? What is it?
Rainbow.
Rainbow. I love that. And what texture is it?
Oh, soft. Clouds.
Beautiful. So that simplistic technology you just owned, you can own, that we have these kinds of creative accesses that allow us, and all we need to do is ask our muse, our higher self, our God self, to help me with this. I've got a little jam going on here. Sometimes we need outside help because the jams get a little pretty intense. But jams are nothing more than life saying, you think you got a problem? It's an invitation for you to navigate differently. It's an invitation for you to grow. I love the word growth. Hear it in a new way. Grow oath. It's the oath that we give ourselves to ever presently be in that modality of growing. So we're here to grow. What are we here to grow in? Grow in love. Raise the frequency of love. Share love with all the planet every day. Take a moment in your meditation and lift yourself to a higher octave. Make it 1,000,000,000 times brighter than it is now. Send that love and that light like concentric warm waves of intensity to every living creature in Gaia. Hold the earth. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the beauty that you give us, that we get to appreciate, that is so transformative in all of your seasons. And you can never be in any season forever. The hardness of winter gives way to the blush of spring. Whatever season we're in, know that it will change. Just like the transient clouds, they're temporal. Know the sky, yes, it's clear. It's clear and it's free of obstacles when we give ourselves permission to have the patience to see that everything is a part of our experience.
Yeah, it's a tough act to follow. I don't even know what to ask you. I can tell you my own experience, though, and the way I envision the door opening. And I've said this to many people, especially once during a job interview, and the interviewee did not quite get the vision, let's say.
I understand.
Where he asked me where I saw myself in 5 to 10 years, and I said, who knows? Because I see my life as a hallway filled with doors. And I can go through every door, and I can open that door and take a look inside, maybe spend a little time in there, maybe spend a long time in there until I'm done with that door, and then I move on to another door. And I walk down the hallway of life collecting all these experiences and putting them in my toolbox that I call life.
Beautiful, eloquently said. And what I hear in that, we just finished saying it, so
I
the
know, right?
segue
That's my small
was
version.
perfect. So all of those libraries of consciousness, all of those experiential doorways to infinite, expansive possibilities are all invitations that allow us to get back to the now. Because every single one of those doors that I heard you say, you were coming to the presence of being in the now. When we are in the now, we are actually at the gravity, the intensity, and the pure circuitry of being at the captain of ourself, the higher consciousness, the wizard self, the warrior self, the power self, the lover self, the seeker self, that's now on the helm of this Merkaba, this holy ship of light, that we get to steer in the direction that we now want to go because we're coming from the power of the now. We're not adrift at sea and letting the winds of time fill the sails and shift us wherever life wants us to go. We've all done that, right? That tends to be quite challenging.
Sometimes you're adrift at sea.
Yes, and sometimes the doldrums, when the wind no longer finds the sails full and they collapse, and we get a time to have a time out and decide, okay, I think those are the times when we get to reevaluate what is our direction? Where do we really want to be? What passion do I wake up in the morning when I ask myself, why am I here? What do I really want to do? Love is the purpose of all of us. But that begins to fuel that purpose, that direction, that guidance, that particular expression creatively that you, in your process, others, bring to the world in the way they show up daily, but in their most magnificent self. Because when you're in the now, guess what? You always come from a place of love because that's your intention. And when we come from a place of love, what happens when you're in love? You become in joy. And joy isn't an end result at the end of some long, difficult, arduous journey. It is ever present in the now. And we all get to experience it by giving it the preciousness of time and recognition and staying here and not in history, because as soon as you leave the presence of the now and you entertain the gravity of history or herstory, it is already amorphous because it was nothing more than a snapshot in time. Forgive yourself already.
I love that. Thank you.
Forgive yourself already. It was a snapshot. It wasn't your entire life. It was a breath you took, and it's over.
Have to stop you there because we're running out of time.
Thank you for the wonderful gift.
Let's wrap it up though, and because I want people to know how to get a hold of you. Would you just tell?
Give them my phone number. Yeah, can I just say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, call me directly to set up a time. I do healing sessions. I do long distance healing. I do a lot of things. I do individual blending of essential oils to give your body a signature fragrance that echoes the higher vibration of you. I do spiritual and intuitive counseling. There isn't a block that we can't deal with, that we can't get through, and it doesn't take a long time. 1-2 sessions, you're on your way.
Yeah.
Once you see the tools and the lens, and you become empowered with it, and that's what my gift is and what I want to share with you. So my number, 95... No, that's not right. Too many numbers in my head. This is the number, my mobile, 612-807-4294. Please call me. I would love to work with you. We can do it over the phone or direct.
Yep. We'll put it on the screen too.
What a joy.
Yeah.
What
so
a
for
gift.
Now, I'm going to sign
be
this
here.
out, and then we can keep on talking, okay? Thanks for keeping it real with us today at Real People. David, thank you so much for all your beautiful and inspirational speeches. It's so beautiful. I can't even tell you how overwhelmed I am with the beauty of your words, because they are inspirational. So
I'm blessed and honored. Thank you. Thank you for your gift. And you get to see me because that's who you are. Thanks for the mirror. Thank you for the reflection.
Thank you. That's all we have today on Real People. Thanks for keeping it real with us. See you next time. Bye now.